I had this much of Skittles vodka and 7-Up before we started.
What?
So
You're wired.
Let's do this.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Try Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around, talk about the games that they're playing, things going on in their life. Today, I have with me Justin.
I hereby claim this podcast.
You're claiming the state of this podcast?
Yes. Due to illegal hosting by the fraud Thomas.
I was thinking like you're claiming it because Ben's not here to claim it.
No, it's mine now.
Okay.
It's my podcast.
Well, let me give you
I'm the president of this podcast.
Let me give you the iTunes feed.
I don't want the I claim no responsibility, but I claim the podcast.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, I take no responsibility for this.
So I do all the work and I don't get any credit for it.
Correct.
Okay. That's
what being president means. I get all the credit for the work I don't do.
This is a politically charged podcast. Well, it had to be, right? Because it was election week.
Yeah. That's all I've been... That's been my life this week.
Isn't it crazy how there's still not, like, a declaration yet? Like, they're still counting the vote. Like, this is the most votes they've ever had. Like, any president has ever had. It's crazy.
Yeah. But it's not the longest it's taken. In 2000, they didn't actually know until December 10th. People just forget that.
Yeah. I was 10 years old, so I wasn't really paying attention to American politics at the time.
I was in middle school. Like, I remember the Gore controversy, but I didn't know how, like, deep it went.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that there was, like, multiple recounts in Florida or Georgia or whatever.
Yeah. So, Justin, what have you been playing and watching?
I actually haven't been playing much because I can't focus on anything.
Yeah.
So I've kind of just been, like, piddling with some stuff. Like, I played some more Genshin Impact, but there's something, like, meandering about that game that I can't really get connected to. Like, it's a fun world to explore, but there's not a lot of, like, depth to it. So outside of just, you know, being like a cool open world, like Zelda type game, I don't know. It's not grabbing me. I feel like it's a waste of time.
Is it Paimon?
She's not great.
She doesn't make it better.
Yeah. And then, let's see, a few other random things I've been playing. Hi, birthday boy.
Oh my goodness.
It's Weasley's birthday.
Where's his little
He's
birthday
7.
hat?
Hi. He had a birthday hat. He keeps eating it and taking it off.
It's adorable.
So he can't keep it on. But yeah, it's his birthday. Oh.
How old is he now?
Anyway.
Like 7?
Yeah, he's 7.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, like, I don't forget about his birthday, but, you know, I have no sense of days anymore in general. And I know his birthday is close to our anniversary, which is not, like, on purpose. We got him in 2013, so, you know.
Yeah.
Or 2014. But, yeah, so I get focused on, like, getting ready for anniversary stuff, and I forget about his birthday. But I have a Facebook memory. He almost knocked my beer over.
Oh my goodness.
I had a Facebook memory from his first birthday in 2014, so I knew that he's 7.
That's adorable.
Anyway, yes, I know you're very cute. Be quiet. That's
not going to help him rubbing up against the mic.
I know. I'll just hold on to him.
You still.
I played some more Avengers. Tuesday night, like election night, me and my friend were just kind of grinding out Avengers, and like he was occasionally giving me election results updates. So it was kind of a nice, like, chill way to, you know, to get that information passed over.
Yeah.
But I got my Thor to level 50 recently. So it's my first character to level 50. I think he's like 120 something power level. I don't really want to do the grind, so I switched characters. And I've been getting Kamala up there. It's funny because, like, we usually play on challenge rating 4, just because, like, the game's not that hard when you're playing multiplayer. Mm-hmm. If you're by yourself, yeah, it sucks because, like, no one ever revives you. But as long as you have one other human, like, you're fine. And so I started my Kamala like power level 60 or something like that, and we were doing missions that were like the bare minimum that she was eligible for. Mm-hmm. So I would like max out all my stats just to get, up to like lowest power level I could to do the missions. Oh my god. Stop it. He will not leave.
This is my spot.
Right?
Daddy's in my spot. I'm the streamer.
Just because it's your birthday, you can't get away with everything. And yeah, so started at 60, and we did like some like level 90 and 100 vaults or whatever, like as soon as I could. And I got her up to like power level 110, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Like in one night. I think it was like probably 3 hours or so of playing, and I raised her like 40 power level points. So that was a pretty successful play session. But like, I'm still really enjoying the gameplay loop of that game. I just hate the performance. We have a lot less like just crashed missions now, but it's still just like it doesn't run well.
Oh my god!
Right?
He just doesn't want to go away.
This is how it doesn't work. Like, I'll have my laptop up, be doing email stuff, and he'll hop up, I'll throw him down. 5 seconds later, hops up, throw him down. 5 seconds later, hops up. Like, just over and over again. It gets really annoying. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm really enjoying Avengers, but, like, I only enjoy playing it with friends, because, like, I don't have to worry about the grindy elements of it. Like, we're just, we're chatting, we're having fun, and it's nice bonding time because you don't have to think about the game that much. But it's definitely not a game that I just like play in my free time. But let's see. Aside from that, yeah, it's really just been kind of like grindy games. Like we played some Dead by Daylight. Also, again, my friends have all been kind of like playing together to distract from election stuff. And then you and I did some more Dying Light on stream on Thursday. Thought we were going to beat it. Realized we're only like halfway.
Yeah.
There was some cool stuff there, though. Like, that Section 0 area was pretty neat. But I'm realizing the problem I have with that game is, like, it's beautiful. And, like, the areas you're exploring are really cool. But there's no incentive to actually, like, go to the ground level. Because that's where all the zombies are.
Yeah, if you want to, like level up, that's where you need to go, right? Like, you want to stay up above until you need to get down there.
Yeah. But, like, it basically just becomes, parkouring across rooftops. But then, like, when you go down to ground level, it's like, there's a lot of detail and stuff like that. It's like they put a lot of work into the environments of this game that you never see because you're just hopping from rooftop to rooftop trying to avoid danger.
I mean, that's how you play, because,
well,
at night you don't even, like, move. I have to move.
That's fair. Hey, it works. I mean, you don't have to. You're just a good friend and you do it.
Yeah.
You can make me do it, but, I don't want to, so I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, too.
Oh. But yeah, no, like, I want to beat the game. That's the issue, is, like, if the PS5 wasn't coming out next week, like, I'd keep playing it.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks. I mean, I'm very excited about the PS5. That's most of why I haven't played anything lately, because I can't, like, there's nothing I want to play except for Miles Morales.
Right, there's nothing I want to play other than my PS5, which is not here.
Yeah, it's tough. So, like, today, we were watching Mandalorian with dinner, and I was like, you know what? This kind of makes me want to start up, like, Jedi Fallen Order again. So I came down, like, I put up the new 70-inch 4K TV in the basement with the Xbox One connected to it, which I barely used because the only thing hooked up to it is the Xbox One, and I'm not currently playing anything on it because Doom Eternal's too hard. So like I'm just waiting to get the PS5 and set that up out there. But I was like, I'll start up Fallen Order. that'll give me something to do before the stream or before the podcast. And it'll be a good test of the TV, because when I first played that game, I didn't have any 4K TV up. So I load up the Xbox. I deleted the game for space, of course. So I go to reinstall it. It's going to take forever. I'm not going to get to do it before we start. But I'm like, I'll put it on there. It'll be something I can play over the next week until the PS5 comes in. It's at least a good distraction game. So I go to load up Tony Hawk instead. Because, I tried to play that when I got the 70-inch set up, and it needed an update or something like that. It wasn't loading. So I jumped into Anthem for, a quick mission. Because that's kind of my graphics test game, because it's really pretty. So I booted that up while I was waiting for Tony Hawk to update or whatever. And so this time I was like, okay, fine. Tony Hawk's updated. I'll play that while I'm waiting for Star Wars to download. I probably won't get to play it tonight, but whatever. I like Tony Hawk too. So I go to load up Tony Hawk. It says it needs an update. Apparently, what I thought was Tony Hawk updating last time was just it letting me know it needed an update, but not downloading it.
Great.
So I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
It's not a super... I mean, it's... We'll talk about it later in the news, but it's a 5 gig update, but on my internet, that doesn't take super long, 10 minutes. So I just leave it. Look at the stuff from the store and whatever. I grabbed Conker's Live and Reloaded, because I found out that that's on backwards compatibility as, an original Xbox game. So I'm like, fine, I'll finally get to play this and compare it against, Conker's Bad Fur Day. So by the time I got through all that, Tony Hawk was done, and I played a little bit of that and was, screwing around in it or whatever. But, it just reminded me how much I'm excited for the PS5 with, the solid-state drive and, the near-instant load times and stuff. I'm kind of spoiled in that regard, where... It's not even out yet, but, I've seen some of the videos and stuff of, how much better it is from current gen. And it's I don't want to play anything on the Xbox One. It's super slow.
The Avengers loads in, half the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is still a long time.
Yeah, it's still a minute and a half, but yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I've seen so far from the loading times and stuff is... I'm basically done with the game, so we're just going to go on a side tangent here. What we're seeing now is just the comparison of PS5 game to backwards compatibility. So, they showed, I saw one that was Miles Morales, for example. So, the Miles Morales loading versus the Spider-Man PS4 loading. Obviously a huge difference, because Miles Morales is built for the PS5. I'd be interested in seeing the PS5 version versus the PS4 version of Miles Morales, and then also the PS5 upgraded version of PS4 games versus the PS4 versions. Because backwards compatibility, yeah, it's going to take advantage of the solid state and stuff, but it's not the same as actually upgrading the game for the next gen systems. Mm-hmm. Because they do things with the compression algorithms and stuff that helps with the loading of the game. But a lot of those versions have been delayed until next year, so we're not going to see that stuff, which sucks. So, what we're getting at launch is slightly improved loading times on backwards compatibility games, and then, new PS5 games that are, almost instant. We're not seeing the actual, next-gen benefits of the PS4 games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know if you had any input.
No.
So it's kind of a weird, bridge right now, where it's still better, but it's not as good as it can be. And some people are like, well, I thought the PS5 was better, but it still takes forever to load those games. It's you're not seeing the actual performance of the PS5 with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything I've seen, the Series X runs the fastest. It's the more beefy of the two. Mm-hmm. But still, the PS5 is still pretty good.
Which is funny, because, the actual, specs of the PS5 solid state is better than the Series X solid state. But I would guess like the actual game optimization is better on the Xbox side.
Yeah, probably with the CPU, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're
also at launch, so things are going to get better.
Yep. I can't wait, man. I
know. Those Miles Morales loading times are ridiculous. It was like half a second, and boom, you're on the subway at the start of the game.
Yeah. Did you take any holiday off for next week or no?
Yes, but not for the PS5. Like I said, Weasley's birthday is always close to our anniversary. Our anniversary is the 11th.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, So we actually always have that day off because it's a state holiday. But, last year we went to Canada for it.
Right.
Which I was reminded of today, and I was like, man, this time last year we were getting ready for Toronto. Yeah. This year we're not even going to take a trip. I'm just trying to get the basement in order so we can, have a date night in a space that's different from upstairs. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we took the rest of the week off. Already have Wednesday off, so we took off Thursday and Friday. Just in case we wanted to go somewhere. Like a bed and breakfast where we could be by ourselves and kind of avoid other people.
Yeah.
But we decided to just stay home. So, I don't know how much PS5 time I'll get in on Thursday, but I'll definitely have, a good weekend with it.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be video game week because Destiny 2 Beyond Light's coming out.
Yeah.
And PS5, and I'll be playing Bugsnax. Yeah, there's a lot going on next week. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're done.
Is Destiny 2 crossplay yet?
It's not crossplay. It's cross save.
Okay. Because that was going to depend if I got it on Xbox.
I mean, I can get it on Xbox, and I'll just bring all my stuff with me.
That's true. It is cross-save.
Yeah.
That's a thought.
Yep. That is a thought.
Because, that's something to do until the PS5 comes out. 2 days.
Yeah, true.
I don't know when mine will show up. My deliveries tend to be pretty late. On average, I get stuff between, 3 and 6 in the afternoon. So it really sucks when it's, a new game or something. Because, I could have all day. But no, I don't.
Yeah.
And especially with, updating the system and all that when you first unbox it, I probably won't get any time with it Thursday.
Yeah, as soon as I get my PS5, I'm doing an unboxing video, which I did an unboxing video for the headset.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you're done with your gaming section or not, but...
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, yeah. So
did you try out the headset yet? Could you? I mean, does it work with the PC or anything?
Yeah, it works with a bunch of stuff. It comes with a wired connection as well. So you can use it with anything with a headphone jack, which is great. I've been using it with my Switch a lot because I play my Switch on my lunch hour now, so it's pretty cool. A lot of Picross, get a lot of Picross in. I need to hear that. That audio track. That same song over and over. No. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of stuff here and there on the Switch. I played a little bit of No More Heroes. I literally only played up to the first save point, so it's not a whole lot. It's very button mashy where you're just slashing stuff. It's there's only 2 buttons for attacks. There's high and low, and then there's a punch button. I never use it though. And this is
I've seen a little bit of that game, but I really don't know much about it.
It's just a hack and slasher. It's a 3D hack and slasher. You just slashing dudes and they're bleeding a whole lot, and then you do a finishing move that slices them in half, basically. Yeah, you're moving up the ranks of there's an assassin tier, and you're trying to become the number 1 assassin. It's got a ridiculous premise too. It's it's a grasshopper. You know what they're doing. Well, you don't know what they're doing. That's the whole point.
I said, I know enough about the story. I just don't really know how it plays because I've never played it myself. I've just seen it played.
Yeah. They have. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild. You have to attack in certain directions. They use the right stick for a lot of the swing right to do your finisher, or and then there's every time you do your finisher, it does like a slots mechanic, and if you hit like 3 bells, for instance, you'll get a certain buff to yourself, so you can do stuff. I got one where it just one hit KOs everyone, so like it's pretty cool. You just run up and just start 1K everybody. Can
you use motion if you want?
I haven't tried it. Ben says he has. Which, for those that remember, back in the Wii era, there was an option where you could charge up your lightsaber, beam katana, and yep, you could do the jack-off motion to charge it up. Here it's hold left and rub your stick. But Ben decided he wanted to try it out, and he did it. He was able to jack off. I mean, charge his katana. So that's pretty much it for that. And then I also played a little bit of Hades. I did a couple runs on it, and it reminds me a lot of
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells, yes. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of Dead Cells. It's run-based game, roguelike. You're every time you do a run, you're leveling up stats and other perks and stuff that you can do. So like even if you fail at a run, it's not a failure. It's just increasing your stats even further and becoming even stronger. I think you like for me, I actually like got a few good runs in early on. Like I don't know how long this game is or how many like dungeons I need to go through, but I felt like I was going at a pretty good pace. I think the highest I've gone was like 12 or something. That's probably not a lot, but it feels like it. I only ever used the sword and the bow so far, and I kind of like the bow. There's a bunch of different attacks you could do with it. There's like power attack, and there's like a spray where you like do a spray of arrows, and you can level up them as you go through. Some rooms have 2 different doors, and it'll show you the symbol on the door of what is behind it. And so you basically like trying to memorize that, or like you recognize the symbol that like this symbol is for Achilles, or this symbol is for I don't know, Athena. I don't know, the gods. So the whole premise here is that you're the son of Hades, and you fucking hate your father. You think he's a piece of shit, so you want to leave.
As you should. It's Hades.
Yep. So you want to leave, and the only way you can leave is you fight your way through Hades, or wait, is the underworld? Yeah, the underworld.
Yeah.
So yeah, you fight your way through that, and the gods of up in Mountain Olympus are like coming in every so often and saying, "Hey, join us! It's a party up here. It's cool. Come join us." And so they give you buffs along the way. There was one where Ares gave me a bunch of cool abilities. Like every time I do a dash, it leaves behind like a spinning circle of death. So anything that goes in there gets hurt a bunch. It's pretty cool. I'll probably end up playing a lot of this on my lunch break because it is run based, and you know I can spend 30 minutes like getting a good run in. Yeah, there's a lot more to it that I just haven't gotten to. The voice acting in this game is really good. I like the presentation of this game is amazing. The voice acting is amazing. The art style is awesome. You can pet the dog in this game, which is really cool. You can pet Cerberus. I think only one of the heads likes you petting him, and the other 2 don't. So they like growl at you. And you can give gifts to like anyone, including Cerberus, and they give you things. I haven't given the gift yet because I don't know what I want to spend it on. But I'm having a lot of fun with that game. And what else have I been doing? I finished off Evil Within 2. If you like Resident Evil games, definitely pick that one up. The story is a lot better than this one. It makes a lot more sense. The only thing I would say is like probably don't trust too much in the stealth system of this one, because I found the stealth mechanics to be really bad. There is an ability that you can get where you can do stealth takedowns from corners, but it seems like when you're waiting at the corner, the enemy will see you anyways and then run at you. And I had better chances of not using the cover mechanics and just hiding behind things, and then sneaking up on them and killing them while they turn their back. So I don't think any of the abilities in the Stealth Troop are any good, but definitely, if you're playing that game, get the bullet cascading, because it just does it gives you a multiplier every time you do one shot. So if I hit an enemy 3 times, I have 3 times the damage. So just keep getting just get that, and then use a shotgun or something, because I got that thing up to times 12 or something. It's ridiculous. I don't think it has a limit to it. So it made bosses pretty easy once I got that. Yeah, it's a really good game. I think it's very underrated. I don't think I've seen anyone talk about that game before. So
it kind of came and went.
Yeah. So definitely give that a try. I got that game.
I wanted to watch you play it, but I didn't notice the streams until the last one, and I was like, "This isn't gonna. There's not gonna be any point in this."
Yeah. I got that game I think 2 years ago for $10. It's pretty cool. That's why I'm buying my the physical edition of the PS5, because I get games for $10 up here if I'm lucky. Mm-hmm. So that's it for me for games. That's probably the most I've ever talked about for games section in a while.
That's sad.
So let's head on into the news, but first let's do a commercial break. All right.
Yeah, this is going to be a short show. I just had to see how long it's been.
I've been streaming for 27 minutes so far.
Yeah. It's not just the fact that Ben's not here. It's also the anxiousness before the PS5.
Yeah. There's not a lot of news because it's PS5's coming and Xbox Series X are coming.
I tried to put in a few things PS5 review and stuff is not news, but I tried to put in a few of the things that are related to the PS5 because I think that's interesting. There was one about the accessibility stuff, what I mentioned with setting captions and things like that, but I didn't put that in here.
What do you want to start with?
I don't care.
None of these really link to anything, so.
Yeah, like you said, there's really not much.
Okay. And we're back. So let's start off with Tony Hawk, since we were just talking about Tony Hawk.
Sure.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2's Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time crossover announced.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you're going to be taken away. I'll just read the headlines.
Okay. I guess I am the president, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But that means I don't have to do any work. Anyway. Okay, this actually makes sense. I jumped into the game, like I said, and I saw some of the Crash items, but I didn't see the cool decks or anything, which is what I was mainly looking for. And then I actually I guess I forgot about this news story. So yeah, as of today, November 6th, there is a crossover between Crash Bandicoot and Tony Hawk, which brings in special Crash Bandicoot themed, specifically Crash Bandicoot 4, but kind of also just in general. Crash Bandicoot themed shirts, hats, and a skateboard deck. Let's see. It's part of a bigger update that also brings the Birdman pack, which benefits a charity called the Skate Park Project. And this pack includes classic and additional boards from Birdhouse and Powell Peralta, and a new TSP deck created specifically for the charity. This limited time Create a Skater 10 deck bundle will be available for $4.99, and 100% of Activision's net proceeds will help support the construction of public skate parks for youth and undeserved communities. So I think that's really cool. They're giving you content, but they don't get any of the money. I always like when they do that, because it's a fraction of proceeds. It's just, you make so much money. Just give it to the charity. Right. That's always been something that bothers me.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Skateboarding isn't very popular these days, so like it's cool to see that someone's.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's cool to see someone's like giving back to that community.
Yeah,
like the Tony Hawk series has done gangbusters for them. It's nice to see them give back.
Like the reason Tony Hawk's coming back is because skating is coming back. Like Tony Hawk and skateboarding are basically synonymous.
Isn't his son doing skateboarding now?
Yeah, he's in the game.
Is it okay? I didn't even know. I just play my Kratos character. I don't even look at the.
I did the video on it on our YouTube page, and so like I went through all the skaters for that. But yeah, I haven't used any of them either. I've just used my Kratos skater. But like I saw the name Riley Hawk, and I was like, I bet that's his son.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's like a new generation of pro skaters that are also in the game with the classics, and like. Tony Hawk was huge for the longest time, and then it kind of fell out of favor. And, like, skating kind of went underground. Tony Hawk's underground, if you will. For a bit. But it's become back in the mainstream again, and that's why I think it was time for a new Tony Hawk game to become popular also. But yeah, like, not to get on a soapbox or anything, but, say what you will about hoodlums on skateboards and whatnot, but a lot of the people that like spend their time at skate parks, at least in my experience, not that I was one of these kids, but I've seen them like at the skate parks and stuff. They are from like lower income families and the wrong side of the tracks, as they say, and this is their creative outlet. Like they get together with their friends, like it's a bonding exercise. It's something they're good at and can put time into without needing to spend a lot of money on it. And sometimes it, keeps them out of jail or worse activities. So, like, this is a pretty legit charity. Like I said, it's youth in undeserved communities. Underserved, sorry. They spelled it wrong. They put undeserved. It's underserved. I was just reading the quote.
Wow. Now we know how IGN feels.
Woof. So yeah, I'll probably grab this pack just for the charity support. But it does come with a cool crash board. But like the hats and things like that are just in the store for free. Which is kind of a bummer because like I put one of the hats on my Creator Skater and it covered up her hair. I don't really like the look. But, like, it's a cool hat, so whatever.
So when I first saw this, I was imagining we can play as the Crash Bandicoot.
That would be cool.
I would be like, oh, that's so cool, but I guess not.
Wait. Did you say play as the Crash Bandicoot mascot?
I think I separated it. So, like, the Crash Bandicoot, and then I said the mascot after that.
It's still the Crash Bandicoot.
No, but a separate sentence.
His name is Crash Bandicoot.
Right.
So it's not the Crash Bandicoot.
Fine, it's the Crash Bandicoot. Whatever.
No, it's... You don't need the.
Give me an article, damn it.
His name is Crash Bandicoot. And he's not the mascot anymore. He's on everything.
Wait, what's the mascot of Crash Bandicoot then?
What? There's no mascot for Crash Bandicoot.
That's like
what are you talking about?
That's like saying Mario's not the mascot of Mario.
No. I thought you were talking about Crash Bandicoot being the mascot for PlayStation.
No, I don't know. I meant the mascot outfit, because that's what people put on themselves, is a mascot outfit.
Because I was picturing, in the original Tony Hawk, you could play as Spider-Man. Like, you don't unlock a Spider-Man's skin. You unlock Spider-Man.
Right, but I think it would be awesome.
So I was picturing unlocking Crash Bandicoot.
No. You need a mascot outfit for Crash Bandicoot. You don't unlock
That'd be pretty cool. Like the old Crash commercials?
Yeah,
where
exactly.
It's like, a guy in a Bandicoot suit?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. I got you. We're on the same page.
All right.
That would be pretty cool.
It took us a while to get there, but we got there.
Yeah. They've been weirdly stingy on unlockable costumes and stuff. There's that Jack Black security guard guy, and that's pretty much it.
I don't even know what that is.
He's in the school too. In the second
the dude that drives
game.
around?
Yeah. It's Jack Black.
Is it really? I never noticed.
Yeah, he does the voice.
Cool.
And like if you unlock his character, like the face model is also based on him.
That's really cool. So let's talk about some more DLC. Among Us is getting a new map, an account system, and more. This is free new map. So.
Mm-hmm. So this is along those same lines of like they said they were working on a sequel, but they decided to cancel that and put their work into the original game instead because it's gotten so much resurgence of attention and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the first announcement to go along with that. They're putting in a new map which is apparently bigger than Polus and features brand new task types. Which is cool. I love, like, the tasks are my favorite part about that game.
Yeah, the mini-games are kind of fun.
Yeah, they are. Like, they're simple enough that you can figure them out just by, like, having it pop up and clicking around, but they're still pretty varied. It's a nice balance.
The only one that sucks is the Simon Says one, because it takes forever.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's like, it's a mix of quick tasks and long tasks.
Yeah.
But that one specifically does kind of suck. But, like, Among Us in general kind of takes me back to it sounds weird to say back to, like it's a retro thing, but takes me back to the asymmetric gameplay of the Wii U. Because, like, that, it'll have, like, stuff on the gamepad and then also stuff on the screen, and you have to keep track of both screens at the same time. I feel like if Among Us was on the Wii U, like, you would do all those tasks on the gamepad, and you'd have full sight of the map and everything.
I feel like
but that would ruin the game.
Yeah, that would ruin the game.
Yeah. So it's like, it's interesting, because it takes that asymmetric gameplay style, but, like, it's still live behind your main screen. It's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like what Dark Souls does. Like, if you try to load up your inventory, it takes up the screen, but you're still active in-game, so...
Oh, you're still active? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. There's no pause.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, this is not an Among Us or Dark Souls review. It could be, but it's not. It says the new map is themed after Henry Stickmin, which I don't know what that is. Do you?
No, is that a name of a Stickman character?
Henry Stickmin, like Stickmin.
There's the Harry Stickmin collection on Steam. He's a Stickman.
Maybe?
He's a Stickman.
No, that sounds like M-A-N, not M-I-N.
No, it's M-I-N.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a murder mystery type thing?
It's a choose your own adventure.
That still makes sense.
The popular tags for this are funny, choose your own adventure, memes, and 2D.
Huh. I mean, that's gotta be it, but that's...
It's a meme
kind of
game.
weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sure. It's from Newgrounds, no wonder.
Oh. I mean, Among Us does kind of feel like an old Newgrounds game. Like, graphically. With the murder animations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're also adding, like, friends lists and the ability to create your own servers or something? What was it? It's here somewhere. Oh no, an account system is on the way. Okay. So yeah, the account system will allow you to report toxic players and have like friend lists that you can, have inside the game for easily managing that kind of stuff. And they're also bringing in colorblind support, which doesn't seem like it should be a big feature, but in a game like this, it's kind of huge. Because a lot of times the only difference is the color. So you can't say orange is sus if you don't know what orange is.
Yeah. You mean gray?
Yeah. Wait, who's orange? I see a lot of grays.
I didn't know you could use the same color palette.
And to be clear, not everyone is like totally colorblind. There's different, types of color blindness, but
yeah.
I don't want to come across insensitive. It was just a joke about the whole orange is sus thing that they keep pushing.
But orange is sus.
Oh yeah, that's why we need to vote him out. Anyway. It was an Among Us joke and an election joke.
You come to Charge Shot Gamescast for your political humor.
Yeah. But also our color scheme is orange, so...
It is. So, what does that say about us?
That we're sus?
Yeah, you hate orange anyways, so...
I do.
I like it.
But, I stick to the color scheme when I'm making graphics and stuff.
Yeah, your graphics are awesome.
Respect, I don't try to change it.
So speaking of updating graphics, Bethesda Engine is getting its largest ever upgrade before Starfield and ES6.
Yeah, so this is probably, sadly the biggest news story this week. And there's really not a lot of information. It was just Todd Howard saying, hey, so we know that there's been problems with our games in the past, and that our engine is kind of dated. We're working on that, and they'll be ready for Starfield. It's basically all it is. But he says, we too will acknowledge it needs more work than it has in previous times. Which, it needed more work in previous times, they just didn't do it. Howard replied, and we do that between generations, and we've been doing it. I can say that the engine work started a while ago. He went on to explain that there are elements of the creation engine that Bethesda continues to like, but pointed out that the way we build our worlds, the way people can mod it, these are things that I think are fundamentally good about our tech stack. But from rendering to animation to pathing to procedural generation, I don't want to say everything, but it's a significant overhaul. It's taken us longer than we would have liked, but it's going to power what we're doing with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, and when people see the results, they'll hopefully be as happy as we are with it. They'll hopefully be as happy as we are with what's on the screen, and also in how we can go about making our games. So this whole story is basically a nothing burger that says they're fixing your engine. But it's good news. Because I've been specifically very vocal about how I wasn't a huge fan of Fallout 4. And I felt like the engine was majorly holding that game back. I also don't like that they made it more fast-paced and kind of more of a shooter than an RPG like the past ones had been. But mainly, it didn't feel like a next-gen upgrade. Sequel type thing should have been. And the only other thing they've made, I think, this gen with... Do they use the creation engine with their other the third-party games Doom and Dishonored and stuff?
No.
Okay. You can't just nod in a podcast.
I shook my head.
That's what I meant.
There was one part of that quote that I liked pretty much was the way we build our worlds and the way people can mod it. So they're still thinking about modding their games. So it's a big part of them still. Mm-hmm. They're not looking to get rid of that.
That is a big deal.
Because you have to build that engine with the ability to be modded by other people. So that's an interesting task because not a lot of games do that. So
people mod everything.
Right.
But it's definitely more work for some things than it is for, most Bethesda games.
Right.
Where, in some cases you can even mod them on console. That's how much they think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, we won't really know anything probably until we see Starfield for the first time. But it sounds like they know that they've had some jank in the past. Todd Howard's pretty self-referential. He makes jokes at his own expense and stuff. But I'm hoping maybe I'll like the next games more than I did Fallout 4. I had such big hopes for Fallout 4. I love that series.
Yeah.
But it was so disappointing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Speaking of games taking longer than they intended, Medium delayed to January 2021.
Because of Cyberpunk.
Medium has been delayed January 28th, 2021 due to COVID-19 and most likely... this is just editorializing. Cyberpunk 2077's new release date.
I mean, it's not really editorializing. They kind of said that the delay is down to COVID-19 related production issues and the current schedule of other titles on the market.
Wow.
So it was due to come out the same day as Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, December 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely delayed it because of that game.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll take the word for it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, isn't terribly surprising, but, like, this is one of the games that I legit thought was an October release, and, like, was planning to make, like, my Halloween game this year.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was coming out this early. And I also didn't realize it's a Series X game, and a PC game, and that's it. I forgot that it's not coming to PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, it's also Xbox One.
But I meant PlayStation. Like, it's not...
Right.
Yeah, it's not a PlayStation game.
No, I was planning... Because it's going to be one of those day one Game Pass games. So I was planning on it being my Halloween game. But I was like, oh, it doesn't come out till December? That's so weird for a scary game. And now it's January, which is still weird, but... At least, like... It's kind of during that lull we usually get.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think this year's going to be a little different because of next-gen stuff. If nothing else, a lot of the PS5 upgrades and like the Xbox upgrades of games have been pushed to next year. So I think January is probably going to be a lot of times we see those, those next-gen upgrades coming out.
Yeah, I think we've heard a lot about January being the next-gen upgrades.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I mean, Medium's going to have some competition. But as far as, like, new games, I think it's still going to be a pretty good time for it.
Yep. So, PlayStation 5 has 667 gigabytes of usable storage space. 19.1% of your 825 gigabyte SSD is untouchable. This is kind of, like, known because of, part of the hard drive is always taken up by the OS and whatever else is needed. But it's this is fairly small.
Right. This is one of those like nerdy, nitty-gritty things, but I still wanted to put it in here because I find it interesting in a way. It's technically like a little bit leaner on the system side than the Xbox Series X is, but that is a 1 terabyte solid-state drive built in. So it takes a little closer to 20% for the storage and stuff, but you end up with about 800 gigs on the Xbox Series X. Whereas 802 gigabytes on the Series X. Whereas here, because it's an 825 gig, you only end up with 667. So while the actual like system stuff takes up a little less space, you end up with quite a bit less actual usable storage. It makes me feel like they should have just bumped it up to 1 terabyte. So that they could have, bragged about the numbers instead of it seeming like a lot less. Because you probably would have ended up with, like, 825 instead of starting with 825.
Yeah, 825 is a weird number to start with anyways.
It is.
Like, I don't know who does the math over there in Japan, but...
Yeah.
They're not...
See, I thought, like... I think when the PS5 was first announced with the, solid-state drive and everything, I said, like, on the podcast or something... that maybe the 825 number they're listing is like the usable hard drive space.
Yeah.
But it's not. Apparently it's just the size of the solid state drive, which is weird.
Yeah.
158 gigabytes is reserved for the operating system and essential files. That does not include Astro's Playroom, which is a pack-in title.
Mm.
So what you'll actually get out of box is even less than that because of the amount of space that Astro's Playroom takes up, which I don't actually know offhand. So realistically, that'll be enough room for maybe a dozen games, which isn't bad at launch. But currently, there's no replaceable hard drives or anything available for the PS5. There's no like official Sony sanctioned solid state drives.
Right.
Whereas, Xbox has put out, we've got these drives, they're super expensive, but you can buy them.
Yeah. Yeah, Call of Duty Cold War alone takes up 135 gigs.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that just plays AAA games, like your sports games or whatever, you're only gonna have like 6 games installed at a time, if even that.
Right. And you can keep them on a backup drive, but to actually boot them on the PS5, they have to be in the solid state. Yeah. So, like, all of that time you would save with, instant loading times and stuff is going to be wasted by the time it takes to transfer from the regular hard drive over to the solid state before you can even play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But, I mean, we knew this was the future we were going to be in. I thought it was worth noting the actual numbers you'll be getting.
Yeah, I think with my PS4 I've already, done, and like my Xbox, like I just install a game, play it, and delete it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, like I didn't have Fallen Order installed on my Xbox because I guess I had probably gotten full at some point, and I was like, I beat this game, I'll go ahead and delete it. But now I want to replay it, and it's gone.
Yeah. People with datacast are going to be pissed, but we have unlimited, so we don't care.
Yeah, same.
And maybe this will drive people to be like, well, I don't have a lot of space on my console. There's like this indie game that's like a gig. Maybe I'll try this indie. I don't know.
Maybe
it's another factor to think about.
It's problematic, like on a larger scale, because there's already an issue with game preservation. That idea of like digital games disappearing, and especially with the digital only edition of the PS5. That's all you've got is the digital version. But, like, also with the physical version, it still has to install the game before you can play it, as far as I know. So, you put the disc in, it's going to install all 135 gigs of Black Ops before you can play it.
Yeah.
Even with the disc.
Yep.
It's just... I think, like, they should focus on hard drive space over profits right now. Because that type of thing is going to become more cost-effective over time. But from a consumer standpoint, it's everything.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Sega or Fortnite?
Let's knock out Fortnite on the topic of money.
Okay. So Fortnite brings back its old default skins, but they are charging for them?
You didn't read this, did you?
No, I haven't read any of these.
Of course. Okay.
I never read any of them. You know that.
I know. It's true. I put most of these in here, so it's totally fair. So yeah, Fortnite's become its own like crazy beast with like friggin' Aquaman and Ghost Rider and Thor and all these random characters in there based on other properties and stuff that you can all play in the game as your like default character. But like back in 2017, there was like, original character skins that were the only things you could be with like some I think different costumes and stuff you could put them in eventually. And I didn't realize this, but I guess at some point those default characters were removed from the game in favor of like one default character model and then all of the crazy, other people you can be in the game.
Okay.
So they're bringing those default character skins back into the game, like Jonesy, like, classic Jonesy.
Oh, of course. Who could forget about Jonesy?
Yeah, he's like the name of the original character. You were being sarcastic, weren't you?
Yeah.
Well.
Is he the white dude with the blonde hair?
Yeah, that's okay. Jonesy.
Alright.
Anyway, he is the main character of Fortnite. So
well, not
they
anymore,
are bringing back.
Not anymore.
True. He is again. Although he's actually not like listed like in the image here of the default skins, but
wow.
Whatever. All of these random generic default skins are being brought back in the Origins set.
They got the girl with the hair. That's cool. I liked her.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one on the right.
On the left?
The right. Well, I like the one on the right.
With the short hair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm trying to make.
Well, because on the far right is a guy, so I thought you were talking about the far left.
No.
But you just meant the furthest right girl.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, unassuming people in khakis, pretty generic, but they're coming back, and the whole set costs 2,000 V-Bucks, which is like $20, I think.
What?
Yeah. And each individual skin costs 800 V-Bucks. And you can also buy the original glider from the game for 500 V-Bucks. Don't worry, you get the original pickaxe for free.
I feel like I should be like channel Ben's rage here and just be like, what the fuck is this shit? They're just gouging their player base. It's like, oh, you like, do you get this for free if you were like original player?
Doesn't say anything about that.
If you don't get this for free, if you were like a G player, I would be so fucking mad at this game.
Yeah. So it's the fact that, like, I understand the game grew and evolved and stuff over time, but they essentially removed these default characters from the game, and now they're selling them back to you as nostalgia 3 years later.
Dude,
that's the issue.
This is like if Destiny, like, they're taking away a bunch of content, right? But they, like, people are expecting them to, like, rework that stuff and then, like, bring it back slowly in. If they, like, charged me for, like, Titan again, I'd be so mad. Or Leviathan. Like, I would be so fucking mad.
Would you quit Destiny?
I wouldn't quit Destiny because my boys, you know, gotta take care of my clan. But I would just be incredibly irate about it.
You would write a sternly toned letter.
No, a tweet. A stern tweet.
Oh, okay. A subtweet, though. You can't at Destiny or they might block you.
No. I'll add their community managers.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, like, I've defended Epic in the past. Like, they have some good business practices.
This is greedy. This is greedy as fuck.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't defend this.
Yeah.
Like, if they're trying to make this some kind of legacy event, give these for free.
Yeah.
Find some other way to make money. Don't sell nostalgia. What are you, Nintendo?
Yeah. Hopefully I was able to channel some Ben in there, make him proud. I know he listens to every single show we ever do, so
it's true.
It's pretty cool. So our last news story for tonight is Sega Sammy sells Japanese arcade business due to COVID-19.
I actually put this story in here for Ben, so we gotta. I don't know. We have to find his inner monologue here.
I don't know anything about the Japanese arcade scene, though.
Right. That's the problem.
You dealing with cats again?
I'm not sure. Hey. Gimme looked ready to pounce. So, I mean, this does suck. Like, the arcade business is not doing well because of COVID. And it was thriving for the first time in years because of, like, the resurgence of, you know, like, barcades and things like that. Like, arcades are bigger than ever.
Yeah, in Japan it was always big. Like, the fighting games scene was huge.
Well, true. Yeah. They had, like, the arcade cards you'd take and, like, you know, save progress would be transferred to the card and stuff. Like, it was a big business. So the fact that they're selling off the shares in Japan is bad news. Especially Sega, which is, like, the fighting game company up with Capcom.
Yeah, me and Ben have talked quite a bit in our wrestling podcast that we would like to travel to Japan together and go to, like, a Japanese arcade. And, like, doing stuff together after COVID. And seeing this happen, it's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a bunch of businesses that we won't be able to go check out after this is over.
Yeah. I saw another news story that I think was, like, related to this. I didn't actually click on it. That was talking about Sega, like, the Sega Sammy parent company, like, basically asking Sega employees to quit so they could save some money.
Wow. So they wouldn't have to pay
so
them,
it's yeah.
What,
Sounds like Sega's not doing super well in general.
Oh, no.
Right?
They just gave away all those old games they could have gotten $2 for.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the full impact of Sega's departure from the physical arcade business will be revealed when the company shares its quarterly earnings to investors. But Sega says the changes will be recorded as extraordinary losses for the company. And, again, Sega is one of the biggest arcade cabinet developers? Manufacturers, I think is right. So it's not good. And, like, this isn't the first time Sega struggled, so I'm a little worried. Because, like, I'm not a Sega fanboy. Like, I appreciate them as a company, but I don't really know a lot of their games or anything. But, like, I'd be sad without them, you know?
Yeah. It says they agreed to sell 85.1% of their shares in Sega Entertainment and Group Arcade and Amusement Center businesses in Japan. The deal does not impact their video game division. So, like, actually making video games and publishing video games, but the retail stores, you know, like the amusement parks and stuff they do.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I found the other thing I was talking about. Sega Sammy published a press release in which it said it will ask 650 staff members to voluntarily retire.
I wonder how many did that because, you know, it's Japan and they're like honorable or whatever.
The directors of Sega Sammy and its group will also take pay cuts to their monthly base salary for the rest of the 2020 fiscal year, between November 2020 and March 2021, as a means of taking responsibility for the operating results during the fiscal year and the layoffs. That's one thing I respect about Japan. The execs understand that failure falls on them.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. They actually
like, that doesn't happen in America.
No, you're right. It really does not. I can't think of one, like... maybe Steve Jobs was like the only one that like took responsibility for his company, but I can't think of a lot of American ones that do.
Yeah, I still think of the Iwata example.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm trying to figure out what Sega Sammy is. Like, I know it's the parent company of Sega.
Well, do you remember Sammy at all?
No.
So they were another video game company like back in the day, and I think they just did a merger. It's kind of like Activision Blizzard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Sega Sammy like the parent company of Sega? So like that would affect their video games as well?
Yes. I think in that case it's like the Bethesda. Who owns Bethesda's ZeniMax? It's like that.
Mm-hmm. Because this sounds like it would be an issue on the video game side. Like, the arcade side, yeah, that's separate, but... asking... Let's see, Sega Sammy employed a total of 9,051 staff members as of September 30th, 2020. So, this would be... like, 8% of the staff? 7 or 8%? That's not a small number.
No. And I just wonder how many of them are staff at the retail locations. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
They probably got a few hundred in there, at least.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's...
like, a lot of things are really struggling right now.
Yeah, COVID sucks. Fuck COVID.
It does.
Wow.
It was supposed to go away November 4th, but I guess because the election results are being, pushed out, we have to deal with it a little bit longer.
Yeah, once the election results are in, then it'll be over.
Yeah, it's just going to go away.
Yeah. Everyone knows this.
Yeah. Although, according to some people, including my mom, it's not a big deal anyway.
And everything revolves around America, so,
Yep.
World is just waiting.
Yeah, how many cases are you getting up there in America's hat, by the way?
Oh, it's not looking good here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not looking good anywhere, really.
Like, this country reported 100,000 in a day, but...
Jesus.
We're also, like, the worst.
Yeah,
so anywhere else that's reporting close to that is still pretty bad.
I haven't seen anything here more than 1,000, so
that's still pretty bad though.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, you know, per capita or whatever, because like we're very densely populated and stuff.
Yeah. Wow. What a downer to end the show on.
Right.
Show your cat.
I was about to say go vote, but like it's done.
Yeah, you can't even change. You can't even like go in. What's it called? Like when you have to make sure your vote counts.
I think that was through today.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. You can't even do that yet now.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it's called. I voted in person because mail-in votes aren't legal, right?
Imagine telling your base, it's like, no, don't vote. You have to vote in person.
And then wondering why none of the mail-in ballots are for you.
Sorry, there's a lot.
Mail-in ballots are a fraud. Why aren't they getting any mail-in ballots?
Right. Sorry if there's like a lot of political talk on here, but like, come on, man. It's election week. That's the only thing that anyone's ever talking about.
We're definitely going to capitalize on this with the title, by the way.
I don't even know what the title is going to be. You have to tell me.
Something about me being president.
Oh, Justin. Yeah, okay. I'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me if you look for Zero Score on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. I actually put out quite a bit of content this week. I had a vlog on Monday, just kind of detailing like what I'm doing for Not Zelda Month and then into next year. And I put out the Cats movie review on Tuesday, which was a disaster, but it's pretty fun. And I put out a playthrough of the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo today?
Wait, what was that?
Yesterday? Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity?
Oh, okay.
I think it was today. I don't remember. I haven't looked. I scheduled it and then forgot about it. I'm pretty sure it was today. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff coming. Like next week's going to be like PS5 week. There's going to be all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But I'm trying to ramp things up with the new office and everything. Also, I was able to finally change my PSN name, but Zero Score wasn't available, sadly. So I made my PSN name Zero Score Gaming. But if you're also getting a PS5 and want to add me, that's the PSN to look for. So yeah, that's all I got.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter at Kane Plays Stuff. Also on Twitch as Kane Plays Stuff. We stream this show every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check out our wrestling podcast where me and Ben talk for 3 hours about anything and everything while we watch a wrestling show.
3 hours?
It's usually about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's how long wrestling shows are, man.
I guess.
What else am I thinking about? Yeah, the Godzilla podcast is back, so check that out. I have to upload the latest one. Oh, his little catties are sleeping.
Yeah, they're just back to back.
They're sleeping. They're watching each other's backs.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah. So yeah, check out the video version of this to look at Justin's cats. Very, very cute.
The birthday boy and his friend.
And yeah, and you can email me, thomas@charshot.com, if you want one of us to review your game, or you want to be a guest on one of our shows and leave us a review in Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get podcasts, and tell a friend. So until then, guys, enjoy your games. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Wash your hands and stuff. Your stuff being your crotch.